Hi everybody, thank you for joining. So I'm going to be continuing my makeup series that I was doing, and I did mention that in my last video. So if you guys want to know a little bit more about it, I'll put the link down below, that way you guys can check it out and get informed. So as you can tell by the title, I will be doing my top 5 under eye concealers. Now I know that I mentioned that I was going to do a top 5 for each category, and the concealer is one category, but not all concealers are for both your blemishes or your face or anything like that and your under eye circles. Some of them are, but there's some that are not. So this is what the video is about, to tell you what are my 5 picks and the reasons why. Alright, so I will start with my 2 high-end. I do have 2 high-end, and the other 3 are drugstore. So one of them is the Erase Paste. It looks like this, and it does have a creamy consistency, and it's a peachy color. And this is good for concealing severely under eye circles. Or if you have problems with your under eyes, I definitely recommend you this. It is a little pricey, but it's worth the investment, I think. This is like a love or hate relationship with many people. I love it, I honestly do, and I think one of the reasons why people hate it is because they don't really apply it the correct way. You do need to prime your eyes. For any concealers that I mention, or any concealers ever, like at all, you need to prime your face or that area. That way it can last longer and prevent creasing or settle into fine lines, things like that. I believe that it's best applied is with your fingers. You can use your ring fingers. I use my middle fingers, okay? Just pretty much dab it like this. That's the way you're gonna apply it, and it's really gonna help you blend it in very nicely. This is a creamy product. Using your fingers in a patting motion, it does help the consistency melt a little bit. Not melt to the point that it's like melting off your face, but it does melt. That way it can make it a little bit less harsh or less thick to go on. It does brighten your under eyes because it does have that peachy tone, and it is a medium to full coverage, so it's always a plus to have that. Really like it. I think that if you do struggle with under eye circles, definitely, if you do have the money, definitely check it out. If not, I do have like another drugstore alternative. It's not a dupe, but it's an alternative. So, I'll mention it in a few minutes. So, my next high-end is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and this is what it looks like. And this does have a pump, and it helps you control the amount that you want to use. And this is the consistency right here, and this, as you guys can tell, is full coverage, baby. Look at that. Just very full coverage. I've actually seen girls use it for like a foundation. They just put like a pump of this concealer, 2 pumps or 3 pumps of a moisturizer, mix it in, and you have like a tinted moisturizer with a little bit more coverage. But we're talking under eye concealer right here, so it is a very lightweight. I don't feel like I have a concealer under my eyes, if you know what I mean. Lightweight, but yet it's medium to full coverage, so that's really good too. As you guys can tell, it is blendable. Once you apply it and leave it on your face for about maybe 10 to like 20 seconds, it does set. I feel like you don't necessarily need to be, I mean, if you're gonna apply this on, you have to be fast. That's a little con about it, that it does pretty much dry, not dry to the extreme that it dries your face or it feels dry on your face. It just dries, and that kind of like, it just sets. That's what I'm trying to say. It just sets, and it does claim that it has like a 15-hour staying power, which I don't know, since I haven't worn it for 15 hours. But I worn it for 10 hours and it stayed up and held up really good. You can use your fingers with this. You can also use any type of concealer brushes. This is one from Real Techniques. It looks like this is the foundation pointed brush, but I use it as a concealer brush. or any brush just like this, a concealer brush. I do recommend, if you want that bright eye effect on your under eyes, I do recommend you go a shade lighter, since these do run a little bit dark. I am an NC25 and NC30 at times in MAC, but this is an NC20, and I feel like it's just a perfect match on my skin tone. Now for the drugstores, one concealer that I found that it's not a dupe, but it's very similar, and it's the Maybelline Fit Me. It's very similar to the MAC Pro Longwear. It does not last for a long time though. It lasts about maybe 4 to 5 hours. Same as the Erase Paste, forgot to mention. It lasts around 4 to 5 hours. This one lasts around the same time, and it is a very creamy formula. It comes in a doe foot applicator, and let me just show you guys real quick. That's the consistency right here, but it does have some coverage. This is definitely a medium coverage, buildable, and you can use it, and it does really cover that under eyes. It gives you a brightening effect. It does not settle in your crease, in your fine lines or any. It does not crease. It does not settle in your fine lines. If you want to have that bright eye effect, go a shade lighter. If not, just go with your normal shade that you're in the foundation. I am in shade Light Ledger, just because, like I said, I wanted that bright eye effect. Therefore, I went with a lighter shade. You can use your fingers to apply it, or any type of these brushes. Just give you time to set it, and then all you have to do is set it with a powder, and you're good to go. Okay, the next one is it's another love or hate relationship, and it's the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser, and it's very good as well. Sorry, my battery died. So like I was saying, this is very light. It's a very light consistency. Once you apply it, you don't really tell, or you can't really feel that you have a concealer on, if you know what I mean. Yet it does have like a medium coverage. All I do is I pretty much sweep it under my eyes, blend it in with my fingers, and that's pretty much it. Same consistency that I was mentioning, that it's an alternative for the Erase Paste, is this one, which is the same one, but it's the brightener one. It's the Age Rewind Eraser, but the brightener one. It's the pinky one, and it's really good to cover your under eye circles. These are very buildable, so therefore you can keep on applying them without getting cakey. The number one key is to prime your under eye. One of the primers that you can use really quick is something like this, something that's silicone based, something that's clear gel, Smashbox, Monistat Shaping Gel, Prime Time from Bare Minerals. Anything like that will help amazingly, especially if you have like wrinkles or fine lines under your eyes. I think one of the reasons why people don't like this one is because of the applicator. Because I mean, it is antimicrobial, but then for some people, they don't think it's sanitary or anything like that. I haven't had any issues with them. I absolutely love this concealer. This is one of the ones that I've repurchased, I think 2 times already, and this is how much I've gone already with this one. Next, the last one is the Garnier Skin Renewal Anti-Dark Circles. This is not necessarily a concealer, but it's more like a skincare benefit, but I use it as a concealer sometimes. When I want to wear that light, just like a tinted moisturizer on top or some powder, I just put some of this under my eyes, especially like if you didn't have any sleep at all, or if you look tired, you feel tired, or even if you've cried, you can also use this one for the puffiness under your eyes. You can definitely do that. You know, when you cry, you have that puffiness there. It definitely gets that away. What I usually do, with some underneath, and then I'll finish doing my hair or whatever I'm gonna do, and then like 10 minutes later I reapply it, and it really does have a tint to it. It's very sheer though, very sheer, but it still has a little bit of coverage. Very sheer coverage though, very buildable as well. This is mostly for those girls out there, for any of you out there that don't need that much of a heavy concealer. It's just something that's, I just need something very sheer. This is the way to go. Definitely recommend that. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I really hope this was helpful, at least for someone out there that's wondering what type of concealers should I use or anything like that. The key here is to use a primer. Definitely use a primer, like I said, and also setting it with a powder. Some of the powders that I've used, some of the powders that I use are just pretty much use a powder that's a lighter shade from you. Like this one. This is from Fit Me. It's 125. I'm a 220, I think. This is way too light for my face. So what I do, I apply this on just to set it. I get a brush and then apply it. A brush kind of like this one. This is from Walmart. But I just do that and then pat it on like this. It really does help the concealer stay longer, especially when the powders have a little bit of that sheen or a little bit of glitter going on. You can definitely use that, and that will help you brighten it more. And another one that I can't take credit for, but it was mentioned because it was mentioned by Emily Noel. It's the Bare Minerals and Summer Bisque, and she uses this. She uses this under her eyes to, over her concealer, under her eyes, to pretty much set the concealer. And I've been noticing that it does really work as well. I'm not trying to say go out there and buy it, but I'm just saying, if you do have it, you can use it for that too. But any lighter, any powder that's a shade or 2 shades lighter than your skin will do it. I promise you will do it. But that's pretty much it, guys. I